Hi, I'm Fernando Martinez.
I'm Dave Brusca.
And this is Film Form.
In this episode, we're going to show you behind the scenes of our latest short film, Without You.
But before we get to the behind the scenes, here's our film, Without You.
Tommy used to love this toy. He would always keep it with him. Remember, it never left his side. But now he's grown out of it, and he has a new favorite toy. I killed the man, Harriet.
What?
I hit him with my car, and for a moment I thought maybe I should go back, maybe I could fix it. But something inside told me to run.
You didn't mean to hit him.
But I did. And the way I responded isn't right.
Well, you can't change that, Jamie.
No, but I need to turn myself in.
What about Tommy? Think about him if you go to jail.
But if I don't go, I'm no role model. He needs someone who would do the right thing when it matters most.
So what? You think he's better off without you?
Look, I didn't ask you here to try to change my mind.
Yeah, well, what did you think was gonna happen? You think I'm just gonna let my sister lay down over a stupid mistake?
Just wanted to let you know before I did this.
After finishing our last short, The Hotel Stop, we started conceptualizing for our next one.
We wanted this film to be different from our last two, where The Wingman was a comedy.
Ace! Serena in the house! That's what I'm talking about though, man. When you're my wingman, stop thinking about fairy tales.
And The Hotel Stop was like a mystery thriller.
I wanted the characters to have a moral argument, one that the viewers would side with one or the other and not be so black and white.
We gave both characters an equal visual standing in order to help visually balance the argument.
Originally, the characters were written as a couple of guys that were neighbors or friends.
But then we thought Ashley would be a great fit for the character of Jamie, and Analisa as her opposite, Harriet.
Ashley and Analisa had felt that the argument would have more weight if the characters were sisters. And we agreed. I generally like to have a solid plan, but going into rehearsals, I like to see what the actors are thinking.
Don't forget that the script is just a blueprint, and then anything at any time can be improved.
We also wanted to visually differentiate this film from the previous two by having it outdoors.
Because we wanted to keep the scene light on editing and avoid problems, for example, like weather, we knew we needed to nail the pre-production. Once the script was written, we needed to find a location. We wanted to shoot at a park, but we know that can be tricky here in New York City.
We visited a few parks outside the city that we had been to before in order to take note of the spatial requirements and to take photos of potential shots using ourselves as stand-ins.
Ultimately, we chose to shoot in Brooks Park by Bear Mountain. We sent what is called a letter of intent for permission to shoot to city officials and notified police of our filming.
With the location established, we began storyboarding using the photos from the location scout. We used the Celtics Shot app for iOS to get the storyboard, as well as the lighting and camera setups.
This is what became our storyboard and eventual shot list, helping us organize our time on set.
One thing that became apparent during this process was that we liked the Jamie shot from one bench and the Harriet shot from a different bench.
This meant essentially that we needed to shoot the scene twice in two different setups in order to get the look we wanted.
So during production, we shot the Harriet shots on the first bench. Then we moved the set 50 feet away to the other bench to shoot the two shot and the Jamie shots.
Do not be afraid to cheat a shot in order to make it look better or just simply to make it work.
But keep in mind that it could add to the time required for the shoot. We didn't just have to move the actors and the camera to another bench real quick. We had to move everything.
We try to keep our lighting as simple and flexible as possible. Since we were partly relying on natural lighting, you never know what's going to change on you.
The weather report showed a mostly sunny day, which meant hard shadows on our actors' faces. So we put a 6x6 diffusion panel overhead.
This, of course, dropped the exposure. So to counteract that and add a little bit of dimensionality to the shot, we decided to hang a couple of Westcott Flex LEDs onto the actual frame. Then we positioned a 4x4 white reflector under the shot just to add a little bit of fill.
Once this was set up, we didn't have to completely tear down the lighting to move to the other bench. Since this was one connected structure, two people could easily move it.
Another benefit of this lighting setup is that it gave us the freedom of movement to get all the coverage that we needed.
You didn't mean to hit him.
But I did. And how I responded, it isn't right.
Ultimately, we decided to shoot everything on a 35mm Zeiss CP3.
We decided early on that we wanted to be in a bit closer to our characters, and a normal lens keeps everything very natural.
We wanted to give more of a visceral feel to the film, so we shot everything handheld and on an easy rig. Whenever you shoot handheld, it's always good to have a small camera, so we were lucky enough that our friends from Red loaned us a Weapon Helium.
We shot in Red RAW 6K, 24 frames per second at a 15:1 compression ratio. This kept the file sizes down while giving us all the latitude that we needed.
The raw files were edited straight into Adobe Premiere with a custom gamma curve applied. To add ambiance to the scene, we also recorded natural sounds on the location to be mixed with our actors' audio.
It's a good idea to get room tone or natural sound when shooting to help blend the audio of different takes in a scene.
Well, you can't change that, Jamie.
No, but I need to turn myself in.
Well, you can't change that, Jamie.
No, but I need to turn myself in.
Well, that's our show for today. We hope you enjoyed our short without you. If you have any questions about the film or behind the scenes, feel free to leave your comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.